Hey everyone, it's me, ACAT's live first stream where I'm not drunk and just randomly doing a stream in the middle of the night. How is everyone? That's a hearty woo. Thanks, Sean. So, yeah, today we are going to be creating the Fall Guys theme. Massive game right now. If you haven't heard of it, you must have had your head in the sand. And we're going to build the theme song in Minecraft. I've been working hard behind the scenes to get everything ready, so let's see how this goes. First of all, a couple of things about my stream. I haven't had a chance to get my office all set up like I hoped I would, mostly due to COVID. Unfortunately, haven't been able to get people in to sort out my office, so there's a chance that the stream might buffer from time to time, but hopefully it stays pretty stable. The other thing is I'm sat in the conservatory and it's just started raining, so if that gets heavy, it's going to be pretty bad. Whew. So hopefully it all goes well. Let's see how it goes. So going to get started and create a new world. So I'm actually running a local paper server at the minute, and the biggest reason for doing that is just to get world edit installed. So let's create a new world. Yeah, forgot. Multiverse does not like caps. Brazilian, you can't translate what I say. You use a translator. I can understand what you say with a translator at least, so that's good. Hopefully the multiverse commands haven't changed. I'm using 1.16 now, and it's been a while. Seemed to work. Let's get in there. You can probably hear a lot of tapping on my keyboard as well, but I've tried to keep the keyboard stuff down. Nicholas says, hey, really lovely content. Thanks, dude. Jatis, how are you? What are you doing? I'm building the Fall Guys theme song. I'll play the song in a minute. I'm just going to just set a few things up here. Let's get that one right. I've got a couple of moderators in the chat, so hopefully they keep you busy whilst I'm looking through a few things. Don't want any monsters. So all I'm doing now is literally just setting up a couple of modes, and I'm going to TP over and see how this goes. Alright, it's a brand new world, blank canvas, set a few rules. Daylight cycle false, so we don't want the day to change. We don't care if mobs drop loot. We don't want mobs to spawn either. There's probably a few slimes hanging about me in a minute. Turn up tile drops because it says creative, I don't need to pick things up. We don't want it to rain, so weather goes off. Set the time and default game mode to creative, so that if I ever do a world download for it, hopefully people start in creative. It doesn't always work though. Right, let's just see what's going on in chat. Quite a lot of action. Wow, thank you for welcoming me. I am Worms. Queen is doing good hard work there. Okay, I just need to get a couple of things open. What I've actually done off stream before I started, over the course of this week, I've been working hard to get the to get everything prepared and actually transcribed the sheet music myself on this one. Right, no idea how loud this is going to be, sorry guys. So here's the Fall Guys theme. Hopefully a few of you have been playing Fall Guys recently and you've heard of this. The first thing I do in any song is set it all up. Now this theme song is about 150 beats per minute. It's actually just a little over, but it works out pretty well. In Minecraft, if you want to do 150 beats per minute, you have things 4 ticks away. I'm setting this up with 2 ticks in between so that I can set up some 8 and 16 notes later on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have no idea what I'm doing, just ask questions. Hopefully you guys have got the music coming through, let me know if you can't hear it. No worries, Queen. I'm pretty sure Aries is about anyway. Sweet. Nick on Mars, thanks. Okay, if you're not seeing stuff going on the Minecraft screen, it's because I'm busy giving these sort of behind the scenes, getting my sheet music together, and also just trying to find a new browser tab. Here we go. I will show you some of the behind the scenes in a bit. Just need to get a few things set up. If any of you have ever watched the oh, where's my music gone? That is the end of the song. It's basically where it starts to repeat the song, so it sort of stops there. What I'll do in the actual build is just fade it out by letting the distance go on. Let's nearly accidentally closed Minecraft. Hopefully that's still there. All good, all good. Okay, right, just bear with me a minute guys. I'm going to get something set up so you guys can actually see my monitor when I'm doing things behind the scenes. Alright, thanks Nick. Let me, it's probably just because I'm not talking loud enough, let me just adjust the dials a little bit. To be honest, we won't be hearing much of the music anyway throughout the stream. Ignore that. I need to refresh things because things don't pop up on their own anymore. Okay, let me, I'll turn up the mic a little bit. Hopefully that helps with the mic a bit louder and it doesn't sound terrible. Right, so let me just flick over. You should be seeing my whole screen now. I've actually spent a long time working on a transcription of this. It's not actually complete, but I've been using the MuseScore software, which is actually really, really good once you get the hang of it, once you get the hang of the keyboard shortcuts. So this is all set up and ready. So basically this is what I'm going to be working from throughout the build. I tend to build things one layer at a time, so I'm just going to get started. Another thing I do is have a spreadsheet like this, and I'll show you how I set this up in a moment. And this spreadsheet basically allows me to quickly build clone commands so that I can copy bits that just carry on going all the time. Window out to stop stream buffer, brilliant. I'm not going to try that one myself. What you probably don't know about me, a lot of you don't know about me, but I've worked in IT for about 15 years, so I know a couple of things about computers. Right, so this is my spreadsheet. I'm just going to set this up now. So what we're going to do is just flick to Minecraft. Basically, I'll get a few of the coordinates that we're going to need to copy. So we are at Z minus 80. No, what's going on there? I built this the wrong way. I actually need to build it this way. So let's clear everything that's done there. Just for the sake of ease, I always build stuff on the negative x-axis. I don't know why. It's just because I've got all the spreadsheets that's set up. So let's just start that again. Get those done. I might have done exactly the same mistake, possibly. No, okay, so I think we look good, and that's going the right way. Okay, so we're going to start here, so that's minus 82 on the z-axis, and we'll call it minus 64 there. So we flick back to the spreadsheet, and what I'm doing is just filling these bits in. So minus 82, minus 64, and that, as you can see, with these clone commands that it was set up, it just sort of populates coordinates in for me. So this is all stuff that I've created myself, just to make life easier for me when making these builds, because as you can imagine, placing every block every single time to bring weekly builds, probably not going to be very easy. So I found shortcuts, made my own shortcuts. Just close the pig step one that I had from the pig step song. And the only other thing I need to put in is the x coordinate of where we are. So that's 265. And that sets everything else up. Also for this song, it is 101 bars. So we just need to copy this down a little bit. All of this boring setup stuff won't take too long, and then we actually get to the building. Wait, so note block, Mr. Diamond, always has been. Always has been. I was hoping a bot should come along from time to time and post something in the chat, but it doesn't look like it's going to do it. Basically, I don't plan, I'm not sure, I might do. I don't plan on always sticking with doing my builds live on YouTube. I think Twitch is probably a better streaming platform. So if you haven't followed me yet and you're interested, head over to twitch.tv/acattersnow and just give me a follow. And if the bot doesn't turn up and tell everyone, Nick on Mars is going to tell everyone every 15 minutes or so. Wait, nothing's done in any other app. Yeah, so just use spreadsheets as a couple of commands. So everything I build, at least for the first time, is built straight here. So I've shown you all the spreadsheets and stuff now. I'm going to move those to the other screen now because you don't really need to see them until I show them again. So let's switch the screen off so we're just seeing the Minecraft window for you guys. I need about 6 monitors when I'm doing this. When I'm just doing them on my own anyway, I could probably do with 3. I've only got 2 screens. I could probably do with 3. Now I've got the streaming stuff going as well, I probably need another one. But we'll just sort of take it as it goes. Okay, probably should have just deleted that bar. I don't know if you can delete a bar anymore, so we'll just have to take it as is. The first part I do of any song is the drums, mostly because I just find it's easier. The main reason is because I need the drums on the bottom layer. Since they brought in the new sounds in 1.13, they changed sand, so it's a different sound effect now. I believe, or something like that. I can't even remember. They changed soul sand. That's it. They changed soul sand to the cowbell, and I used soul sand because as a snare because it doesn't fall. Unfortunately, now I have to use sand, which means I need something on the bottom layer, and to keep my builds as compact as possible, sort of keep them. Can't use sand, so let's just start building and see what we've got. So this goes a bit like this. Don't use Noteblock Studio. No, it's a lot of people do, and you can tell every time you see a Noteblock Studio video on YouTube, you can tell it's been done with Noteblock Studio. Now, some people who use Noteblock Studio still go to an awful lot of effort because they do a lot of work transcribing the music. A lot of people just will rip out a MIDI or do something like that, and to be honest, I don't even know how that works. I haven't tried it myself. But yeah, I've always found the quality isn't as good. The thing with building yourself, again, tell me if the volume is mental. The thing with building them yourself is I can be a lot more accurate and do things that you can't do. So what I'm doing here is just setting up some blocks. I usually have F3 on a lot because if you look in the corner over here, you can see what note you've actually tuned the block to. There's a resource pack I've got as well actually, but can't be bothered to turn it on. That's the first bar, so we're already gaming. Now pretty much what I do is I'll use the clone commands that I've built up using the spreadsheets. Let me just flip back over to that so you guys can see what that is. So purely cool, let me help you reach 100k. I'd love to reach 100k. I've always said to everyone I will do a face reveal at 100,000 with my silver plaque when it arrives, if I ever get there. So we see how that goes. Well, I'm just flicking back to the spreadsheet again now, and basically what you can see is I've built the first bar and I want to copy this for the second one, even though the second bar isn't a direct copy of this. I'm going to copy it just because it saves a lot of time in building stuff. So as you can see, the only thing I have to enter is this. And this is all stuff I've set up for myself, lots of formulas in here to figure out how to build this clone script. I'll just type in that I want to copy from bar 1 to bar 2, copy that script, and if this goes wrong, I'll cry. Absolutely nothing happened. So now I just need to figure out why, what I've missed. It's because I've got the Y coordinate wrong, so let me just flick back. That should be Y4. The last build that I copied from Pickstep was, boom, there we go. The Pickstep build was obviously done in the Netherworld, so it was done on a different Y level. So hopefully the timing of this is right. When it's 150 beats per minute like this, as you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks along, and that's 8/8 and 4 beats in a bar, and then the same amount of ticks basically in between each one. So that won't play in a perfect rhythm because of the way it is. Can I help spread the stream? You can, yeah, absolutely, definitely. Send a share. Let me just figure things out. You're going to hear some stuff in the background again because I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing the drums in the Muse Score app, so you're going to hear that come through. Right, so that's just the next couple of bars. In fact, I should have made that y equals 3, not 4, because as you noticed, it didn't copy the blocks on the bottom, which doesn't really matter for those ones. Sand there, 1, 2, 3, sand here, snare. And a lot of the times the snare drums and the bass drum, I will just tune them up to 5. I don't know why. I've just sort of started doing that and I liked it. So I found it sounded better when they were untuned completely. So that's the first 2 bars. As I said, we're going to just build a lot of the drums at the start just to sort of lay that down. I won't do the entire drum track until I've got other things coming in. So there'll definitely be some other, you'll hear some of the melodies as well. If you haven't played Fall Guys, tell me why in chat. If you haven't heard of it, where have you been? This bit's going to take a little bit of working out. Let's just grab another of these. I'll probably just skip this one back. Let's just put the stream back so you just see the Minecraft stuff now. You've seen the spreadsheet. If you want a copy of one of those spreadsheets, I made a template. It's on the making of WoW video that I did a long time ago. Turn it off. Okay. Alright, so this is when I need to figure things out a little bit. So let's show you this next bar. I don't know how much you guys know about music theory. I don't know an awful lot about music theory. I've never trained in it. Everything I've learned is completely self-taught from hours and hours of endless looking around Google and figuring things out. But this is the next bar we're doing. You can see the bass drum, and then there's a hat. The rain's starting to pick up above me, so you might start to hear it. I'm sorry if you do. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad and doesn't ruin everything. Well, the note block sounds, Mr. Diamond, I have, they're quite old now and they might need updating. Oh, they don't need updating. There are two videos that I had, one before the 1.13 sounds came in and one since after they came in, that shows off all of the sound effects and all of the different instruments. So if you check for my tutorial playlist, I don't think there's a link in the description here, but if you open up another window and have a look on my channel, you'll find the tutorial playlist, and the different instrument tuning is all in there. So all of the different blocks you need to put under it. Right, so these aren't 8th notes, these are slightly extended 8th notes. That's what the dot notation there means. That's what I'm trying to build now. That's just going to require me to think a little bit in depth. So an 8th would normally be here, but if we're going to extend it out, extends it by another 50%. So it goes there, another one, another 2. There to this one, and then again over here, and then this one's already good. And now we're going to put the hat in that's in the song. For hats, I used to use clicks in my first couple of videos, but people moaned. People didn't People didn't like it because clicks, well, I'll show you. That's what I used to have, and now just imagine that playing over and over and over. Or even don't imagine, and I will just do it. That didn't work. Of course that doesn't work. That's not how you time things in Minecraft. I know how repeaters work. Nobody saw that. We'll cut that out. We'll cut that bit out. Can I request a song to cover? For requests, the best thing to do is head over to Discord and just sort of get involved a lot over there. If you hear a lot of clicking while I'm tuning these notes as well, it's because that's what happens when I don't click and it's a bit slower, and I think I could just tune them up much quicker by actually just clicking them. Discord, hopefully there's a Discord link in the description of the video right now, Mr. Diamond. Let's hope this is right. That's exactly what I was after. Oh, don't see many notes when you turn the particle effects down, do you? Now, I usually record with fairly fancy settings on, but not so much lately. 1C17, you left, as in you left the Discord, or you've left the stream, because that's fine. Either is fine. I'm always going to be around, and you guys know where to find me is the most important thing. Like I say, if you want to leave suggestions, come over to Discord, get involved, talk a lot about things. The biggest suggestions I'm going to be doing are things where they're really hot right now. I can't spend 10 hours on a build and then it flop and only get 500 views because nobody wanted to watch it because it was boring. Which, yeah, I mean, if you saw some of the content I was pushing out before my break, maybe you did kind of see that sort of thing in there. Right, so that's the first 3 bars. I think that was meant to be something else. I'm not sure that was supposed to be a hi-hat, but we'll go about retuning that later. You'll probably find I do a lot of retuning of stuff. Nothing's ever right the first time, and a lot of the times you just have to listen to things. Now, as you can see, the 4th bar that we're going to be doing is exactly the same as the second one. One thing I've got to remember is I accidentally left a blank bar in here, which is number 1, so anything I do, I'm going to have to subtract 1 from, otherwise we're going to make mistakes. Either that, or we just change that to be 2. And start again from 2. And that way we can't get confused. So the 5th bar then is a direct copy of the 3rd one, so that's really simple. It goes into the spreadsheet, we grab it out, stick it in, paste it in the clone command, and bosh. Done. All good. Nothing left to do on that one. Fireflies Bower City. See, so it's a great song. Don't get me wrong. The thing I have is it's really old now, and I just don't know how well it'll do. And alright, fair enough, I've done some really old songs on my channel, obviously, but those have been, you know, real classics. Hopefully. I don't know if you guys agree. I like them, and that's what counts. But yeah, it's definitely a good song. It definitely did get suggested on my Discord before as well, and we kept it going. So let's move on to here. Okay. Right, so now we're starting to build up the drums a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to clone. That's the wrong one to clone. So we'll clone from 2. And that's the thing, you make mistakes here. Because of the clone commands I've set up, it's quite low risk. You don't really have any troubles, because if I break something I can pretty easily fix it. I'm not using world edit commands, which I possibly could be doing as well. and that would give me access to the undo thing, but that's not where we're going. It's just clicking around everywhere at the minute. One thing I'd love to start doing on the stream is more than just note block builds. That's kind of why I've started streaming. I want to get people involved, and I want people to turn up, start to see the stuff I can do, hopefully figure out I'm quite a nice guy and want to hang around. And yeah, and then we can start to do some other things on the stream, get more of the community involved, maybe do some stuff on a server, maybe we can look at adventure maps, or I could start doing some Minecraft speed runs. I've been looking at that as well. How hard can it be, right? I've seen the world record, it's only 20 minutes. Just over, 21 minutes or so. Right, so this one is very similar to the previous one, except it's a little bit altered. So we're just going to put in those bass drums. Two are going to go there. Go there. A little bit out of place there. That's because they're 16th notes. I'm going to set things up to go like that. Put the repeater in. Perfect. Okay, I'm working through things. Just keep going. And this is pretty much more or less how the songs go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Nick, I was talking about random seed, not set seed. So the set seed world record, I think, is about 3 minutes. And that's where, you know, people have searched long and hard to find a seed which is absolutely perfect, where there's a dungeon and a chest and everything has everything in they need to be able to run straight through. They know exactly where the end portal is going to be, and the end portal has probably got 11 eyes in it already, and they only need to create one more. So those set seed runs, yeah, they're pretty insane. Random seed it just seems a little more chaotic. There's a lot of luck involved because you have to start. The best start is near a desert. You want to find a desert temple and a desert village really, really quickly so you can get things set up. The desert typically has lava pools as well, so you can create a portal pretty quickly and get straight in. Okay, now we're pretty much just going to clone one just for the sake of getting things going. So I don't actually need that. Needs to turn into a hat. Those need to go. Up. That. Probably stop with the clicking just to save your ears. Copyright status. Actually, they do, yeah. So these count as cover songs. What I'm building, they don't count as the original song, obviously, because everything is completely built by myself and my own instruments. My instrument in this case is Minecraft. So they do get copyrighted. That's why I wanted to do a stream with game audio, because game audio typically won't have copyright strikes from big companies. If I did this stream and I was doing a big song, say I was doing Fireflies by Owl City, the stream would probably be shut down by now if I'd started playing things. So it wouldn't be very good. The VODs that go up, the final versions, they get copyright claimed by the composition owner. It's usually done through a massive company like Warner or Sony or something big like that, and I get a revenue share on them, so I don't get totally nothing from it. I'll still get some stuff. Okay, nearly actually getting in. This is pretty much the intro. We'll build this bit up and then we'll probably start putting the tune over the top. Oh, hey Creeper Boy, welcome to the stream. And that's the last bit, right? So we're just going to copy from the last one. I'll probably keep the spreadsheet open on the screen for you guys and everything else so you can see everything that's going on. Hey, Blueberry P out. Back to the theme. Okay, and then we're going to want a hat here. This is hopefully going to be my typical streaming time. I'm planning to do 3 hours from, in the UK it's between 2 o'clock and 5, because those are times which sort of work around my schedule. I do have a full-time job, so I have to work around that. Of course, if you've been keeping up with all of the things going on in my life, there's a wife, 2 children, one of whom is only 6 months old as of a few days ago, so obviously he takes a lot of our attention, but my wife has very kindly offered to try and keep him out of my hair whilst we could do this stream, because she's just very nice like that. Right, so hopefully that's sounds good to me. This is where the song then really starts to kick off. That was so that first, what was that, 8 bars is pretty much just the intro, and then we kick off into the song. So let's move up to the next layer. Now, one thing to note is all of the chords I've had to figure out myself, which is not easy. There's a lot of whistling into the microphone and Audacity to do all that. And the end result is hopefully pretty close. Set stone glass. Saves a lot of time. This is why I build in the local thing, and then what I do is I export it to just an offline world. I do all the recording from the offline world just to make sure I can minimize as much lag as possible. Yay for the nice wife. Yeah, yay for the nice wife. She deserves a lot more praise. Right, so now I'm not sure whether to use diamond or base blocks at the moment. We're just going to figure things out as we go. Again, beauty of using Welder, it's I can pretty quickly just replace a lot of the stuff. Now, these blocks in the middle don't actually do anything, I just keep them there for show. No blocks affect the sound of blocks on the side too. No, so that's basically what it's just saying now. They're only there for show and to keep the redstone from going. So it pretty much just helps. When you're looking at the videos, you can't really see what blocks are in between. So if I put a block here, that's still going to be a hat because it's on glass, rather than heart because it's on diamond. And you can use pretty much any block to get the harp sound, the piano sound if you like. But yeah, I tend to use diamond blocks because it looks fancier. Right, so the first thing, let's have a look here. We've got these chords to do. If you can read sheet music, you know what you're looking at. If you can't, I'll give one quick explanation. This is a bass clef, which means the bottom line here is a G. This is a treble clef, which means the bottom line here is an E. And then you just count things up. So this would be the gaps in the middle are A, C, and that's an E note, and then that's a G note, and a B note. So I'm looking for E, G, and B. This key indicates which notes of those need to be flats. So the E needs to be a flat, the G needs to be a flat, and the B needs to be a flat. So they're all flats. Figuring out the key of a song is quite important. It really helps with everything else, because if you know what key it's in, again, I had to figure all of this out myself. Often I can just Google around to find out what key a song's in, because once you know the key, it helps with a lot of the chords and notes. And it doesn't mean most of the notes will be on key. Some of the notes are typically off key, and that's intentional, and you can normally notice that when listening through a song as well. So you want to go E, G, and B on this one, but flats. So E flat, E flat, and B flat. And then a lot of times what I'll do is, this is why you see buttons everywhere in my builds, it's because I can test things to see what's going on. Is that right? Is that right? Alright, let me just change things back. So I've muted the wrong thing. I can unmute that. And B flat. Yeah. It sounds a lot higher because I'm using the harp sound. I might have to switch this out with bass box or something else. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Perhaps we could switch it around and put this on the lower end. So you can see that says note 16 at the moment, which is a B flat. If I change that to note 4, that would still be a B flat because there's 12 between sort of each range of things. Copy that. Yeah, pretty sure that's all right. Oh, let's tune one of those. Same again. Actually, that third chord isn't supposed to be the same one. Well, thanks for coming by, Mr. Diamond. It's nice to have someone come by and ask lots of questions. So here again, we're looking for a C and an E and an A. Yeah, so that's a C, so it's not a C flat. So it's 6, 9, A, which is an A flat, so that'd be 14, 6, 9 and 14. And then what I like to do sometimes is just test these up, so we can link that up with the sounds underneath. See how it goes. Alexa, give the stream a million views. I don't think Alexa can do that. Alexa could do that. Brilliant. We'd all be laughing. So then back to the spreadsheet. What we're going to do now is duplicate this because we need another layer for the piano. All I have to do in the new sheet is change the y-axis so we know what we're copying from, and then pretty much things work out from there. Okay, so next one's pretty small. So I'm getting distracted by stream chat. You guys carry on. Right, let's just set things up. Pretty much this is how it goes for a lot of the time, so ask questions. Tell me how you feel about streams. Ask questions about me or anything you can think of. Right, I'll flip back. So we've got here C, which is 6. $11. And an A, which is 14. I'm going to turn my particle effects back up because you can't see all the notes. If you're wondering why my screen looks a bit like this, it's because I've got Fabric and Sodium installed, because it massively reduces the amount of lag you get in game. Yeah, just let that play out for a bit. Okay, you see we're starting to get there, getting somewhere with it anyway. This is almost a copy of the other one. Copy again from 2, copy that clone script. Okay, and this is pretty much as before. God, I love that we can put redstone repeaters onto glass now. Even when they first introduced that into the game, it took me ages to figure out it was even possible. And one day, it accidentally clicks and, oh, there you go. And this, what's this? Putting redstone on glass. What a lifesaver. It's probably broken a lot of people's builds though. Right, so 9, 12, 16. People said it's not rocket science. Creating no-block songs, it's not rocket science. The first one I built, if you guys go back and watch All Star on my channel, that took a long time. I made so many mistakes, had to rebuild things over and over and over again just to try and get them right. And eventually sort of got everything there. If you go back to some of my earlier songs as well, you can see I didn't keep like the melody or the vocals on the top. That's what I tried to do with builds nowadays, is, you know, the actual melody of the tune goes on top, because that's what I'm going to be flying over the song whilst I'm recording it, and that's the bit you guys are going to have to look at for 3 minutes whilst you see it. Right, next bit. So here, and you can see this chord here. That chord there is the same as that chord there, so save me having to figure out the notes again. After a while, when I've been working through a song for a little while, I do start to just see the numbers, like the Matrix. So 6, 11, 14, 6. Right, let's just see how that sounds. Okay, so far it's alright. I'm just going to copy another one from here. Here we go. But honestly, anyone can do this if you focus and you have enough patience to figure out how to do it for the first time. And once you get there, honestly, the first thing to do, forget all the music theory and forget all the things that are sort of teaching you and going through here. But just grab a music sheet from somewhere. Go onto the Muse School website, grab something that you like the sound of, and just build it. You don't have to figure it all out yourself. And yeah, honestly, you can build anything. You just have to apply yourself a little bit to it. It takes a little time, and then you post your first video on YouTube and it gets 300 views, and if you've only been getting 10 views a video, 300's awesome. If you're getting 3,000 views a video, it's not that great. YouTube is weird in the way it works. Two people could post the same video and it would just go completely different. Right, so let's figure this one out. A, C, E, F, G, A, B, C. So we're talking 11, 14, and 18. That's it. Sounds like a nice chord. That's the other thing, right? If I mistune something, I mean, that one might be okay. So that one sounded fine, to be honest. You can see, if you listen to that, it doesn't sound like a very nice chord. So it's often pretty obvious when you've made a mistake. Now, it might just be that I've got a good ear for it. I couldn't say. Okay. Stick a button in there. Right, probably what I'm going to do is just play this every now and then. Alright, let's build this bit up a little bit. Right, so we're up to here now. So it's pretty much the same as this one, except sort of changes its tune a tiny bit at the end. So let's copy again from number 2. Need to change the notes at the end. So talking F, A, C, so it's just the same notes as this one, isn't it? Yeah. So 11, 14, 18. There we go. Now this isn't going to sound perfect. We're going to have to do some fine tuning later on, but this gives you a really good idea of just sort of the whole process really of putting one of these things together. Have we done that one before? Nope. Copy and clone. Perhaps they're not watching the stream that closely, LJ. I'll never go on radio silence with you, don't worry. Let's head over here, figure these ones out. So we've got a D, an F, and then a B. Right, so D is typically 8. Yeah, so D is typically 8 notes here, but if this is a flat, which it is, it's going to be 7. D, F, and B. So F. That sounds like a nice chord. Perhaps it will if I don't talk over it. Seems okay. Gab plays S. It's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me. We're going to copy from number 4. Yeah, Discord, as Nick says, you pretty much can't stop me from talking in there. There's a few weird things going on in Discord if you like to write random stories using one word at a time that sometimes turn out a bit weird. Pretty much always turns out a bit weird. Then carry on. I think there's probably one sane sentence in the whole story at the moment. So head over and have a go at that. Scroll up if you want to lose faith in humanity. Where are we? Okay, we're on number 8, just copied from 4. Let's figure this out then. So again, we've got D, F, so it's the same as the previous one. So we're looking at 7, 11, 16. And the last bit is 16, but we've got a G in here instead, which is G flat, which is only 12. That's that, and we've nearly done the intro chords, and then we've got to do the intro melody. Oh, pretty much going. Oddly satisfying. Which part do you think? Is it listening to a grown man ramble on about how to slowly build chords into Minecraft? Or is it the outcome? Hopefully it's the outcome and less of me. Right, so we've got something pretty sensible here. It's rare that you actually find a bar that's just got 4 beats in it anymore. Every part is satisfying. Well, I'm glad you agree. I hope you stick around. I'm going to be doing these. I'm hoping to do a stream every Saturday, weather permitting. As I said, I'm in my conservatory, and if it rains, it's raining now and it's light, so it's okay. If it rains heavily, or if there's a thunderstorm that comes over, you guys aren't going to hear a word I'm saying. Right, so let's just do then this last bit. So we're on number 9. Let's just grab a random one. Doesn't really matter. We're just using it so I don't have to build all the glass and stuff really every single time. Right, so 4 beats. So that's the same as that last one there. So we have to figure that out too much. 6, 11, 12. Right. We'll move up to here. So we've got ACE, F, A, and C. I'm sure you guys can probably go and see one of my tutorial videos to see all of this, because I've got a whole tutorial video on tuning and how it works. Again, if you just look up in the corner up here, we see we're at note 0. That's an F sharp, and that's the bass line for every note. And then every time you tune it, it goes up. I forget what the proper name is, but it goes up half a note. So that was an F sharp, now it's a G, now it's a G sharp, now it's an A, now it's an A sharp, now it's B, now it's C, because there is no B sharp if you ever looked at a keyboard, and so on and so forth, and it just goes on. So you get 2 full octaves starting from F sharp 3 to F sharp 4 and F sharp 5. And that's all you've got to work with, and that's why octaves is a huge issue. If I had 6 octaves of piano notes, everything would be amazing. Semitone, thanks Invade. Someone had to score me. As I said before, I'm not an expert on music theory. I pretty much just picked up everything as I go along. I know a few of the terms. Yeah, but you just kind of have to bear with me. If you want a masterclass on how to read sheet music, then I'm not your man. But yeah, I can get by, definitely get by. Right, 6, 11, 12, and in all of that talk, I've completely forgot this one. So we said F, G, A, C, F, A, C. And at this point, I'm just remembering the key and remembering which things are supposed to be flats and which ones aren't. which is pretty much everything in this key is a flat. Where are we? We are over here. Okay. Now, so we've got E, G, and B. Done, and then finally E, A, and C. Invade says, ha ha ha, I love your videos, they're sick. Thanks. I do my best. One of the things I always wanted to do when I did these songs was to make sure I was as accurate as possible. And in the early days, I looked at a lot of sheet music that exists, and there's mistakes in it. If you go on MuseScore and you look at a lot of the songs that are out there, there are mistakes in them. And if you listen to the song side by side, you can easily pick up on the things. So you can. Sometimes it's as simple as a little timing, but sometimes it's a note that's out of tune. So if I ever do use any sources in any of my videos, I always correct everything by doing it by ear if there are any mistakes in it. And to be honest, most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I've ever looked at a piece of sheet music for any of the songs that I've done, there are mistakes. If you're picking up on MuseScore. Nick asks, how do you get access to the sheet music? Most of the ones I come across are free, but only one instrument on Google. MuseScore is honestly the best place I've ever found for finding these things. People put a lot of stuff up there for free. One thing you have to remember is the composition always belongs to the person who originally wrote the song and doesn't belong to whoever wrote the sheet music and stuck it on MuseScore or wherever they decide to put it. That belongs to the person who originally wrote it. So you have to bear in mind they are technically the copyright holder for pretty much everything. Even my songs, they half own the copyright. And the songs that I've got on iTunes and Spotify as well, so they half own the copyright from them, and I get a share of the revenue. So everything I do is completely by the book and completely legitimate. Whereas I'm sure there's a lot of people that maybe don't, and they find different ways to get things out there. But yeah, so and what you said, most of the ones that you come across are free, but they only have one instrument on Google. That can happen quite a lot. Again, if you look around MuseScore quite a lot, you will probably find people that have done full scores where maybe they've written it for the school band or for a concert or something like that, and they will find it. Let's just have a playthrough before I talk some more about that. Oh. Yeah, that was well out of tune, that one. 6, 11, 12. That's not right at all. Let's figure out what that was supposed to be. D. So that's supposed to be 7. What was I thinking there? Hang on, so it's a D, an F, and a, no, that's not right. A D, a G, and a B. How did I get that far wrong? Eleven, 16. Yeah. I have no idea. I must not have retuned that one from last time. And that should be that. Hopefully that's right. So yeah, sorry, just going back to what I was saying about the music, you will find decent scores on there, and you'll find the whole thing typically if you just look around for a bit and do a bit of searching. It might just not be top of the search list. If you go onto MuseScore and you want to find something, I mean, I could probably show you guys. A lot of the times if you just hit search, it might just have piano at the top here, so make sure you've got it ticked on all. And again, let's use Owl City Fireflies as an example because that one's come up in the stream already. You find this, it's only got 2 parts. That's probably not what we're looking for. One of the things you can do, which you usually filter it down, is go into Instruments and then say I want to find one that's got drums. I want to find one that's got a bass drum, and it will whittle it down, and you'll find a score. See, this one's got 16 parts in it. It's a full marching band arrangement. So from that, you can pretty much figure out any different part of the song if you were to look at that. I'm not going to play that now because I can't play copyright content on stream. I can only upload the VODs. If I play stuff on stream, again, that's why I want to move over to Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch now, go to twitch.tv/acatters and drop me a follow, because I'm going to start moving the streams over to there. Because if I start doing copyright content on YouTube and the algorithm picks it up whilst I'm live streaming, it will shut down my stream. So that's not very good. That's why I'm building a game song. Sorry, let me just catch up on chat a little bit. I missed loads of stuff going on there. So that's what Nick said. Leah, they are anything, the note, piano, drum to many blocks. Did you have a note block? Yes, no. I don't even know if there was a question there, so I'm not going to answer it. How much did you miss from the stream, Apples? Not a lot. You didn't miss a lot from the stream. And of course, when the VOD goes live, because this will just get listed on the channel, you can go back and watch everything you missed anyway. Anthony Som, hey, mod developer here. Could you think of anything to add to your game that make these easier? More instruments. I'd love more instruments. I actually follow the audio director of Mojang on Twitter, and years ago I asked him. One of the big things I really want is a proper hat. You know, the proper hats or clash sort of sounds that you get for it would just make the percussion so much better if we could have those crashes. But those aren't there. Any more questions in there? Is this process for every song, says Malamute? Yes, it is. This is the whole thing I go through. This MuseScore thing, I've built this myself. So this is the MuseScore software that I'm using. And I've spent hours and hours and hours. This is Audacity, where I've recorded the song into Audacity from my computer. I spent, I don't know, a long time basically listening through this over and over and over again to transcribe it into MuseScore so I could make this stream as smooth as possible, because if I was figuring out the notes on stream, things would be even slower than they are. No Joto says Vanilla Tweaks is a module that shows what notes. So you know what? I've got a resource pack. I don't know if it will work. It says it's incompatible for 1.16, but I had a resource pack. Let's just see if it works. It could work. Which shows everything. Yeah, look, there we go. So the resource pack, let me just go back to it, is called 3D Noteblock Displays. It still seems to work in this version of Minecraft. Of course, there's no new instruments added, so it doesn't need to do anything different. But yes, this can make life a little easier, and I can turn F3 off. Sometimes I do need to go back to F3 so I can figure things out. So say I notice a mistake, I need to fix something here. I can go over to here, see that this is X223, go over to my spreadsheet, and then my spreadsheet I will see, right, well, X223 was bar 8, and then I can go back to my sheet music to bar 8 and know exactly what it should have been or where I made the mistake, and then carry on from there. So yeah, but I'll turn it off for now. If we've got this thing going, it makes life a bit easier. Right, 7, 12, 16, 7, 12, 16. Right, so one more listen through, and then we'll add the melody on. I have no idea how well it's going to come across. Ooh, I should probably follow it next time instead of putting my hands behind my head and sitting back. Yeah, so if you've listened to the Fall Guys theme, you can probably tell that these are a bit higher pitched than they ought to be. And again, it's just because I'm stuck with the octaves that I've got with the piano. I might switch these out for bass drum. In fact, let's try that. One thing with World edit, as I don't know if it will. I can't remember if world edit switches the thing. I think if you've got the async world edit, it only changes the block and it doesn't actually update all of the other blocks next to it. But normal world edit should. Place entire block with oak planks. Now, as you can see, it hasn't actually triggered a block update on any of those. They're still showing as the harp sound rather than switching over to the bass, which I've just tried to switch it on. Let's undo that, and we'll use the vanilla Minecraft command instead. So trick with the fill command, place a block where you want to start and use tab to auto-complete it. Then I've copied that, escape out, flick straight over to where I want to go. Here is fine. And then we're going to replace, we want to put oak planks. The syntax for this is backwards because you're saying what block you want to put in. You're saying which blocks you want to replace. And you can see that's instantly changed the picture on the block, so we know that it's switched the sounds. Let's see how that sounds with the bass. You might not be able to hear this very well on stream with the bass. Sometimes the bass blocks in Minecraft need a decent set of headphones and to pick up nicely, but you might hear something. Yeah, I don't know if I like it. We'll stick with that for now because we've still got to put the melody on top. For this, I'm going to go up a couple of layers. So this is where I'd normally do with one layer. I'm going to skip that layer and go straight up to here. The main reason is because this is the bit I want people to see most when you're going over. Nojoto says, have you ever tried using a resource pack to change the instruments to something else? No, I haven't. Do they exist? If they exist, I'd love to see one. When I set out to build these at first, I wanted to make sure that what I was building was pretty much vanilla. As much as possible. Wanted to make sure that everything I was showcasing and demonstrating to people on my videos was something that could be built in Minecraft itself without any extra help. But you know, the more I get into them, the more I realise that I don't think people care too much about that. People just want to hear the cool sounds, and especially if you look at some of the big guys out there and the videos that they've made. They've built them in Noteblock Studio. There's either mistakes in there. Sometimes the audio is not even Minecraft audio. And yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everything I built was better. Now, there's a couple of times where I've tweaked the tempo slightly, but nothing major. Right. So now we're actually flicking over to the melody part of this. It's probably going to sound a bit weird if I'm muting everything but this, but let's see how it works. This is what it sounds like in MuseScore. So that's that, and that's pretty much what we're going to be building right now. So, right, let's get that. So it's pretty much like this with a 16th every other one. Sort of. I think it then goes back like that at the end. Can always fix it if not. Alright, so this is, so now we have to remember we're on a treble clef, not a bass clef, so the notes changed. Easiest way to remember this, this is what I remember from year 3 music theory class, was the gaps in between spell the word face. So F-A-C-E are the gaps in between the lines. So this note up the top here is a G, so we're going to I'm going to play that as 12 because we are actually in F sharp or G flat. How many of these do I need? 3, 6, 7. All you really have to do is replace the audio files. You want to do it yourself with Super Mario Kart instruments, but never got around to it. Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably not that hard to do. I think the big challenge though is getting decent audio for it, because if you end up with bad recordings going into it and every note's going to sound terrible, that will be a big problem for the final version. So yeah, definitely something I kind of want to look into at some point. Whoops. How's the game audio now? Is it fine when I play it? Hopefully the level of that's not too bad. Obs is showing that the level of output is a little bit lower than my voice. Good, thanks. Right, so now we've got that. Again, need to go in here, duplicate another one. Typically call this melody. Remember that the Y level's gone up 2 rows, so it'll go up to Y12. And then again, we'll clear that off and clone straight up. So that's it. So again, it's getting into the habits of setting up my spreadsheet and doing everything just right. I've also written a bit of software. If you guys have been looking down my icons down here, you might notice I've got Visual Studio installed, and it's because I've got a huge background in development. There's a bit of software that I've written for myself which will paste commands in. So if I've got multiple of these clone commands to paste in all at once, for example, a drum beat is the same for 10 bars straight, which happens a lot. I can paste it into my little tool and it will just quickly copy and paste all of the lines into Minecraft for me. So it just saves me. Again, just all of these little ways are fine to save time. Yeah, I suppose it took me time to create the program in the first place, but in the long run I'm saving time, right? Right, so that's a B. So now we've got to change all of these to B and then D up here. So well, let's do it this way. Sometimes when it's the same thing over and over again, I'm going to use the fill command this time. And we're going to replace note block instrument equals note equals 4 is what we want. Just replace all the note blocks. So in that little selection I've made, I've just turned all of the ones in there into different notes. This one I'm just going to tune them because there's not much to do there. So this is 8. That's wrong actually because it's a D flat, isn't it? So it's a C sharp. Let's see how we are. Go. Oofy McBoofy, hi, how are you doing? The stream's lagging a tad. Let's just see what the stream health is. It says excellent connection at the moment. I don't think I've dropped any frames, not according to YouTube anyway. Sorry if you do. I am on a Wi-Fi connection at the moment. I explained to people at the start of the stream, but I'll go through it again. Just quickly for all the people that have joined since. I'm on a Wi-Fi connection, unfortunately, and the best I can do is fairly stable, and hopefully it's been pretty stable for you guys throughout the stream. And the best I can do at the moment is that I wanted to set my office up when I moved into a new house, but with COVID going on, I can't get people in to do the work that I need, and there's a lot of stuff I need to do to gut stuff out and properly insulate the walls and do stuff, so it's not quite that straightforward. Just finished making part of a song in Notebook Studio. It's great. I've never used Notebook Studio, which a lot of people might be shocked to believe. I don't slate it too much. I just think that the output of it isn't as good as you can build yourself if you go for it. And because I've created all of these shortcuts and little tricks for myself to do to make sure I can build these as fast as possible, it's probably just as fast for me to build them straight in Minecraft nowadays, to be honest. Alright, next instruments. That is pretty much a copy of the first one with a change at the end, so very simple to clone this. I just need to figure out what that last note is. D. C sharp, or D flat in this case. Sounds right. And then we're just going to clone another one. Right, back to the music. So again, this is literally going back to my primary school education. Another way of remembering the lines, which are E, G, B, D, and F, is a little poem my music teacher from back then taught me, which was every green bus drives faster. Which I don't know if that's true. You don't tend to see many green buses around London, at least. Not that I'm from there. But yeah, just these little things you pick up, just weird stuff like that stands out from school that you remember. Like the time a kid scratched me with his claws that he had sharpened to be like a cat. All of those little things that you'd probably want to forget about, the things that stand out the most in your childhood. Right, so that's, again, it's A sharp, so we're going straight up. 12, probably just going to use fill command for this. Note block instrument equals heart note equals 16. So that's those ones done. That's an A. A flat. I'm starting to forget where we are, so that's 14. Right, so that's the first 4 bars of that bit done. I'm a person, as much as you want to watch the screen, sadly you're going to have to go to sleep. Yeah, it's to be expected. It's difficult streaming in the UK. I don't know where everyone's from. I think the majority of my my viewers are from United States. But I do have some fans over the other side of the world as well, and as far as New Zealand in the Discord. So it's very difficult to find a time that everybody can join and get things in. And I have to work around my own schedule as well, so we have to make sure I get through through lunchtime with the whole family first, and then I can get a good 3 hours of streaming in before I have to jump on dad duty again. So, streamman from Russia, Ufi McBoofy from London. So I'm actually not from London. I'm in Northampton. That's probably about as much as my address as I dare give on stream. Right, so let's carry on. Next bit. So we've done this part. What I'm going to do is put this first 8 bars together, and then again we'll listen to the whole thing, and I'll connect it to the bottom rows again. Yeah, you remember your guitar teacher made a poem for strings. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. That's a good one. I really struggle with guitar strings. I've never played the guitar. I hope that one's probably going to stick now. One thing I always find is a lot of the times when you look on the internet for the way that guitar strings are laid out, sometimes they show them top to bottom, and sometimes they show them bottom to top. So the EAD GBE thing could be EBGDAE on a completely different diagram, and it's almost impossible to figure out which one you are. But they're usually annotated when they're the wrong way around anyway, so Hopefully it's not too bad. Is that where we got to? Right. I think that's where we got to. That's pretty much the same one as the last bar, right? That's exactly the same as the last bar. Well, that makes life easy. So this is when the clone command is just perfect for this. Boom. Nothing to do there at all. Here we go. Anything good we can copy from? Another good thing is, well, if you kind of copy from another one and it's exactly the same timing, but you just got to tweak the notes a little bit, try and clone from one that's at a lower note, because you can take those existing notes and then just tune them up to what you want to do. If they're already tuned too high, you have to break the blocks and start again, or you know, use the fill command to replace them with the right notes and that kind of thing. But let's clone from this one, which is number 3. We're on, where's it gone? We're on number 7 now. I'm going to clone from 3. Yeah, I'm not going to give everyone a masterclass on Excel again, even though this is Google Sheets, not Excel. Because I don't have a license for Excel on my personal computer. But it's the same commands that I'm using in there anyway. So what we're looking for here, D and F. Yeah, it's just F. I think the new 1.14 sounds great because the pling sound adds a second lead instrument. I've never used pling in one of my... Right. That's... Sorry, getting distracted. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've never used pling in one of my builds because I found it was a bit too... I'd never found it contrasted too well with other things. Personally, I love the bit sound that was added, the emerald blocks. I use that a lot, and I think it contrasts really well with some other instruments as well, like the guitar. You play bit and guitar together and it sounds awesome. If you listen to Faded, my Faded video, I absolutely love the way that the bit and the guitar sounds bounce off each other. So 5, 6, 7. All the way up here again. This is where I just look back for another one again that's similar. So that one's similar. 8, look from 6. And the first bit's already right, and then we need to turn the other bit up to a C. Yeah, for people that have never seen a stream or never seen me do a build before, I used to do my builds on my server, which is, it's online at the moment, but it's not what it used to be, and I don't do the builds there anymore. But I do have a Minecraft server, which I think is still in 1.15 because the server mods haven't quite got around to updating it to 1.16. They're kind of a bit dead. But if you fancy playing on my server anytime, join the Discord and express your interest, and what we'll do is probably help get things set back up again. But we've made a survival server over there, and I might do some streams from the server as well, and then we could do some community streams and do all sorts of things. So let me know if you like the sound of that. We can start to do some other things, because I imagine watching some guy build note blocks for ages, hoping it's entertaining. You know, there's only so much gameplay we can offer with this. Let's see how we sound. Is that the whole thing? No, I've missed one bar. Let's just do the final one before we go on with that. Just this last one then. Okay, so the timing's totally changed here. Copy any old thing because it doesn't really matter now for this one. I'm not going to need that. I'm not going to need that. But we are going to need one here. Right, and then we are playing. Let's see. E. flat, with a G flat, with an A, so those two are already, no, they're too high. Feel like I made a mistake here. No, I'm just losing my head. Right, so we go 14, 14. Back on B, so actually, put two of those. Don't actually need these ones. And the final note, G, A, B, C, D, E. Really high note. So that's an E flat. Sharp. Cool, right. Hopefully there's enough rapid fire mouse for now. Cool, let's just see how that sounds. Not a fan of the bass. We'll fix the bass. It's not the right instrument. That didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. No, it's because it's not right. So you see sharp. Cool, right, let's we'll think of something else for the bass. If I put piano in it as well, I think the piano is going to yeah, if I make the bass line the piano, the bass chords piano. I don't know, we could try it. Let's try it and see how it sounds on top. I just think it's going to drown out the top notes then if we do that, because some of them are actually quite low. Let's have a go. We want to put diamond blocks in planks. Yeah, it's just experimental at this stage, and I do a lot of this whilst I'm doing my builds as well. You know what? It's not too bad, even though it's playing on the same octave. I didn't think it was too bad. Let me just catch up with chat a little bit then. Have I ever built stuff like this in survival mode? Says Mystery Man. No, I'm not insane. It's hard enough to build them in creative. I don't know why I'd want to drive myself crazy building one in survival as well. That would be absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I'm sure people have done stuff like this. I know if you've been keeping up with Hermitcraft lately, Ethos started doing a lot of doing some note block songs in there, and he built What Is Love by Hadaway on the server, and he must have built that in survival, which meant a lot of time collecting the resources to get all of that stuff. So it's just absolutely insane. I can imagine, I mean, I could do it, it'd just take too long. I don't know why I'd want to. Slimmy Slime, make a programmable music machine. I could. There's probably hundreds of people that have done it before, or there's probably some good ones in there as well. In fact, I did see one on Reddit a couple of months ago, but I couldn't tell you who wrote it, who made it. So they do exist. I think someone's probably already done it and probably done a better job than I would. If you think keep the server at 1.15 because 1.16 redstone's completely changed, some redstone circuits won't work anymore. I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's 1.16 redstone changes I think aren't the end of the world. They haven't affected my builds, for example. If you've had some really tight contraptions where you've tried to keep the redstone as short as possible and as small as possible and compact, you're probably going to have a couple of problems. I know The Hermit Crafters definitely had a couple of problems when moving over. Etho had to fix. Etho's the main Hermit Crafter I watch. He had to fix a few of his devices when he'd done that. So, but I think 1.16 isn't the end of the world. No Joto, I think, agrees with that as well. Mostly, yeah, they can all be fixed. That's right. Crazy to think it's already been an hour and 30. Yeah, it's been an hour and a half. I built, once I knew the notes, I built Pigstep in 3 hours. But of course, I've been paying a lot of attention to chat and seeing what's going on. So it was always going to be a bit of a stretch. I've absolutely no chance I was going to finish this on stream. But, you know, hopefully you guys can see a lot of what we do build. Maybe I'll put my head down and focus a little bit more. Most average players aren't doing too much with redstone. No, that's also true. This, by the way, a lot of people call me a redstone genius. This is not difficult redstone by any means. This is literally just repeaters on top of each other. And the reason I stack things like this is because that way I can change the instruments really quickly, like you just saw at the bottom, without breaking something on top. If I'd built everything all in one line, I could have had some serious problems. And again, the reason for laying everything out with these repeaters is because I know all my 8th notes are all 2 ticks apart, and all my 16th notes are just 1 extra tick away from any of my 8ths. It's pretty straightforward. And if you built a notebook song but it decided to add so much detail, it took a month or so. Yeah, I mean, that's rough. Yeah, it can take a while. Again, my first ones took an awful long time to build. Perhaps not a month. I don't think it was a month. I think All Star probably took me 2 or 3 weeks, and after that point, they got faster and faster and faster, to the point where I've done some in 5 hours, but some have taken 25 hours. Bohemian Rhapsody, that's such a complex song. It definitely took me a bit longer. All right, let's carry on a little bit with the song then. So we've now got past the intro and into the main bit of the song. So let's build this drum beat because, well, let me unmute the drums. Where are we? Drums. I know this is bass drum, but it's just because I mislabeled it. It's actually all of the drums. We just need to make that once and we can clone it lots. Now it does change a little bit. Like that, so you can see there's an extra note, an extra snare at the end. And I think we're going to use the click sound for this, for a change, something I don't often do. Right, so you can see these are all slightly different rhythms. I need to make sure we get everything just right. Right, so let's build the hat in first because that's pretty straightforward. Right, so I'm going to go back down to the drums, switch back to my drums tab, and just clone any old thing, and we'll start from that as a bass. Switch that. Right, so hat is, where have we gone? So there's actually, it's every other 8th. What I might do, just to save everyone's eardrums, is to retune them, is just clone them instead with World Edit. Right, so that's the hats in. Yeah, and then pretty much I'm just going to listen to each one of these one at a time. So bass line is this green part here. I feel like there's a rest of something that's been deleted out of there that I'm not seeing. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Well, this one's a snare. Let's get that one in at least. Yeah, I need to figure out where the other bass goes because I've messed up the sheet music somewhere along the lines. This one will be a click. I don't tend to use the purple when I do this because then it gets confusing, so just stick something else underneath. Don't worry about there, that'll do. If it just sounds weird later, we can always change it. That one belongs here, and the other one's like a quarter note somewhere that, again, I haven't written it properly. So if that dot's anything to go by, it'll be a little bit before there, so it'll be 1/8 and 1/16 before. Hopefully that sounds the same. Nailed it. I think if you press the control button and middle click, you can copy the note block at that note. See, this is why I went on stream, to learn all this new stuff. Let's see if that works. Control middle click. Control middle click. Did I do something wrong? Maybe because I already had a note block out? Not sure if that's working. If you let me know what I've done wrong, we'll have another try. But that sounds about right. Yeah, so the rain's starting to come down a bit heavier here, so again, please ignore it if you can hear it in the background. Hopefully it's not too bad, it's not too loud for me, but you can probably hear it sort of drizzling in. Right, so now we need to copy that 3 times, sorry, 2 more times, and actually a 3rd time, which we need to tweak. So this is where I'm going to pull out the code that I wrote to paste clone commands in much faster. So I've written a little app which I called Autotyper, and all it does is actually takes each line that I paste in and then it pastes it into Minecraft for me. Ooh, I copied the wrong thing there. Copy that, paste that, and see I've got this here and it's sort of pasted in. And then all I have to do is make sure I've got Minecraft ready, click run, and then wait, and then there we go. So it clones 3 in. I'm going to move that over to my other screen so we don't see that every time now. That saves a lot of time. It's obviously missed something as well. I've cloned the wrong thing. Yeah, I should have been cloning from 10. Well, this has just become an what is it, ASMR? I'm just turning this into an ASMR stream. There you go, clone the right one this time. And then we need to get down to this one, skip down. And the only change here is instead of a hat at the end, we've put an extra snare. Need to change that. Yeah, this is just one of the horrible things about having to do this in the conservatory, is if I do stream, this is the problem. All of the bedrooms are unfortunately occupied by children. So I can't set up an office in one of the bedrooms, which is I think what people would typically do in a UK home. You shouldn't really pick it up in my microphone whilst I'm not talking though, because I've put a filter on, so you'll only really hear the background noise whilst I'm talking. Okay, so that's that bit. If the rain gets too heavy, I probably will have to cut the stream short, or just, you know, if enough people don't care, then I will carry on. But I warn you, if it really comes down, it's going to be nuts. Right, so where did we get to? So we're on 14 now. So now we're repeating the same thing again. So once, twice, 3 times. That's slightly different that time. So, okay. No, we'll copy that sequence. Okay, well, the rain's starting to settle now. Fingers crossed we don't get it come down. We're not in the eye of the storm or anything, and it's just going to start hammering it down in a minute. I think I beat it. But we also need a... Whoa. We also need a click at the end of that one. We're just going to listen to it through. It's just easier to notice than if we see anything different. Right, so that's again the same 4, and it's the next one that has something different on it. That's the same, it should have the 2 snares at the end. And then this one is different. This changes the first 2 beats to snare drums instead. So let's just clone 10 again. One. Okay, moving on a bit. Go back to this again. Right, so that was like these 3. That wasn't, it was that one. So a lot of this is now just sort of remembering where they are. And this is how typically I could build a song pretty quickly, because if this drum beat lasts for a while, and it's just the same thing over and over, but it's pretty easy just to type in the commands to clone it the way we go. So we're saying goodbye now to the melodies that we've built in the past. Okay, where did we get to? 26. Back to that again. So it's the same 4 bars as the last 4 bars. Nice and easy. Just to remind everyone, I'm not going to be streaming on YouTube forever. Well, we'll talk about that again in a second. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube forever. I'd like to move over to Twitch, just think it's a better platform for streaming, and it also means I can do different styles of build. I can do actual music on Twitch, as long as I'm not playing the songs and I'm only playing the cover of the song that I'm building. I'm allowed to do that on the Twitch stream, while I'm not really allowed to do that on a YouTube stream without risking getting a copyright claim on it, and the stream getting shut down in the middle, which wouldn't be great. I was just listening to the Fall Guys theme, and near the start, I don't know if you guys if you're going to do this, there's this kind of arpeggio in the background. Yeah, I'll probably. So what I'll do is when I get to the end of this song, I'll probably have a think about adding that stuff. There's another one I know I haven't done, sort of actually somewhere in the middle of the song, which I might do. Wonder how it would sound. What I would probably do to do it is use pistons. If you guys have seen any of my builds, let's just grab a piston and show this off. You can do a lot with pistons. Piston timing is 1.5 redstone ticks. So it's 3 gain ticks, 1.5 redstone ticks. The only way you can sort of mimic it is with this. So if we stick a note block let's do something for comparison. We'll just build 1, 2, 3, 4. Just play the same thing 4 times. Let's put it on sand, so it sounds out a bit more. So that's how it would sound like that. But if we stick this on, we put some repeaters down here, we play the same thing, we can actually squeeze in, don't need that last one, we can actually squeeze in extra notes that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Oops. Okay. Well, you probably, well, I'm not sure if I'm pulling that off quite as well because of maybe some lag because I'm playing on my local server, but hopefully it sounds sort of, hopefully it makes sense. Let's just play the two side by side so you can sort of see the difference. That's one redstone tick, so that's the fastest you could probably do things, typically speaking, if you didn't use this. There's twice as many blocks playing within the same space of time, so you cannot. This is the only way I know to do it. But of course, it's no good on a typical playthrough if you're doing something like that. If you're doing something for your base, it wouldn't be very good. I've had to turn off block sounds so that you don't hear the pistons. Otherwise it would sound horrible. Well, it would sound something like this. Great. Yeah, not that great. So, yeah. That's why if you see pistons on my build, that's what I'm doing. It works really well. If you're doing a song that's 100 beats per minute, then pistons at 1.5 redstone ticks is how you make your 16th notes. It's the only way to do it. Let's click this up. Slash set here. Clean this up. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I can tell you about that. I've got a tutorial video where I show that off as well. Got a half tick, redstone notes, something like that. It's useful for other things as well. If you ever need a half redstone tick, piston's the way to do it. You can't chain pistons though. I had that question come up recently on one of my videos. If you chain a piston onto another piston, the second piston has a half a redstone tick delay before it activates. So you don't actually get the full effect. You have to time them all with other redstone. Right, so let's figure out again where we are. So this is block 76, which is 29, and 29 is this one, which should have a click on the end. Let's just see if we got that. Yeah, so that's the right one. Let's carry on through some more of the song. Same thing going over and over. And we've got that again. Right, so let's figure out which ones we need to clone. This one here has got that sound at the end of it. So we're at 132. So we want this one 7 times, and then 21. Unfortunately, can't turn the camera while I'm doing it. There we go. So it's just cloned all that out. We'll do this section until the drum beat changes, then we'll move on to doing some more of the melody or something instead. Right, let's run to that again. Let's just check. I've got a feeling it's going to be 22 when that starts. Yeah, so this one's got the 2 snares at the beginning. Really helps if we can remember some of these as we go. So it's 22, 20, 20, 21. Whoops. Oh, this is, yeah, obviously going to go on for a little bit. 42. So 42 is the same as 38, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Right, there we go. So that's the end of this little section. So we're just going to copy the same bit. We just need to change that last bar before we carry on. Cool, right. So this last bar then is quite a simple one really, isn't it? Get rid of that. Keep that, and we can put one in at the end. Oops, don't have a note block. One of the other things I got used to doing a lot during these builds was having the my items in exactly the same positions. It just gets, you're quite commonly pressing the same buttons over and over again. So just knowing that I've got a note block on one for your hotkeys just makes life a lot easier. Oops, tune that one too much. Cool, that's it. I'm not going to listen to that because that's probably about a minute's worth of drums that we've just built there over and over. Let's go back and listen to some of the other bits. Okay, so this is the point we got to. We just need to add these last bits on here and here of the piano and the melody. I say piano, this is really chords. Just rename that for ease. Don't know what I'm copying here, just a random one. Well, that's all right, there's not too much to clear up, but we just need a single chord at the beginning. So we've got a D, G, and a B. A sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Now we're in key. Don't need that. Didn't sound right. It's probably right. It probably sounds fine. We'll stick this one on there. So F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Whoa, so that note right at the top there is literally the very top of our range. Damn, that's a lot of blocks. Yeah, it's a lot of blocks. You know what, I don't think I've ever counted how many blocks goes into one. There's probably a quick way to doing it using World Edit where you just replace them all and see how many notes get replaced. But I've never done it. Right, so melody, we'll copy a random one. We'll get rid of most of this anyway. Well, the good news is the rain has stopped. switch those back how I like them. Right, now let's listen to this again, and then we can hear the drum beat go off as well this time. Oh, I like it. Doesn't sound too bad to me at the moment. I haven't got the decent headphones on at the moment, but I'll probably have a look, another listen later with my good headphones on. I say decent headphones. It's a Turtle Beach set that I bought for an Xbox 360 years ago, but because it's got an optical cable on it, it still connects to my PC. And it's just got better sound quality than I've got. But it's fallen apart. I've held it together with bits of sellotape and all sorts. And the rubber around the earpieces has come off as well. Flute instrument for extra octaves. I tend to use gold blocks, actually. What's that called? Chime, I think. Bell block, sorry, bell note, if it goes into an extra octave. And sometimes I'll pair it with something. So say we've got, let's just do a quick one. A quick demonstration of what I mean. So if we had notes going into here, just to start it. Pat Tyson Gold work well together. They do. To be honest, there's so many notes that when you put two instruments together, it sounds so much different. I tend to use the didgeridoo sound a lot for some of the, like if you've got like an electric bass guitar, that kind of thing. I think the didgeridoo does quite well. The problem is the didgeridoo only works well when it's lower octave, I think. Otherwise it just sounds a bit too quack. You know, it sounds like a duck. Bit instrument Emerald, yeah, that again another great one. Let's just show what I mean here. Let's tune these up. So say we've got 22, 23, 24, and I need to get to another octave. Sometimes it's sort of, the thing is with the extra octave is you typically only jump out of your octave for one or two notes in the whole song. And if something's constantly going up there, then it's pretty difficult to work with. So let's get my cold block back. What I would tend to do is tune these ones up as well. So I've subtracted 12, so this is obviously 24, that's the highest it will go. Instead of 25, I've gone to 13, which is still a G, and then 14, which is a G sharp. And then we'll play it with some of the, pair it with some of the lower bell blocks. It might sound okay. It tends to sound a little bit, you know, this is quite fast at the moment. Let's slow this down a bit. It's not the best sound, but when you only get one or two that jump out of the octave in the whole song, you kind of get away with it. See how it's tuned up. Or I could even go higher on those as well, but the reason for pairing it with the piano is it just helps bring it closer to the piano sound, because you still have that with it. So it just sort of helps keep on top of it. Anyway, let's clear all this up. Use a flute because I think it sounds more like the piano, but the bell instrument works well too. Oh, sure. The flute that has, for me, the flute has some other good uses. Should I be using the flute for the bass in this one? Let's go back to Audacity. Might sound okay as guitar. Oh, we should try it as guitar instead of piano. Let's have a go at that. This is a bit of a risk. So we're going to put wool instead of diamond and see if that works. Sounds bad, we can always switch it back. Maybe. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that run on. Nah, stop it. No, maybe. Not 100% on that one. The thing is with guitar chords, for them to sound right, you need to properly play the guitar chords. Like there's open notes that you need to be playing as well. I sound where snare fading out quickly would work well with maybe, perhaps, which at the end of this section. This is where we're going to start using guitar, I think, for this little wobble wobble. Chords on piano, melody on emeralds. We'll play with it. Well, I think we'll play with the instruments towards the end because it's really quick to swap them in and out. I think it's more near the start. Here, if I play it on Audacity, you can tell me which bar it's in. So see the numbers at the top, it's the same bars again. In fact, these are actually now off because of the way we've done it. No, that is right, actually, because this little bit at the start, which I've missed out on the other ones, is actually a bar on its own. So this is just the next 8 bars here. So I'll play that. Hopefully you can hear me over the music. You tell me what you mean. Around 10 seconds in, about here. Now, I'm not sure what I'm hearing at the moment, if it's anything different to you are. Let's go back and start building a bit more of this anyway. So, did I unmute everything, all of the tracks here? No, so I've still got the tracks muted. So there's nothing with the drums for the first like little bit here until we get to this part. I'm into there, and in musical I've paired it with a piano at the moment, just before the bit I'm doing. So right at the beginning of the song, you mean? Oh! I see. I'm not sure if that was part of the music, that click sound, or if that was just actually, because you have to press the start button before you can hear the music. So I don't know if it's actually a sound effect from clicking the button, or if that's actually part of the song. Could be. We'll come back to that, but either way, I haven't built that part yet, and I am going to come back to it towards the end of the song. So we're going to get to that. We're going to have to try a few things with this because I don't think we're going to pull it off straight away. So this is what I was kind of saving my guitar line for. Right, bear with me. So this is at 14. I need to put something at 14. Let's just build it piano for now. It's going to be too high, I think, in the piano. Let's put our guitar line in. Switch that to 9. Okay, and this starts here. Yeah, it's bar 14. So I'm jumping around all over the place in a minute. Hopefully you can keep up. 14, so that's X181 here. Build another layer. 5. Okay, I think we're gonna work this out with guitar, but I think, to be honest, to reproduce something even close to this, because it's quite a low sound, but it's not that bassy. I think we're gonna have to combine a couple of instruments. So perhaps I'm gonna combine the guitar and bass together on this one to see how we can, if we can pull that off. Right, let's go. Right. This. Right, just the first 5 notes. Gap. 3 more. And gap, 2 more. Gap, and 2 more. So that should be the pattern we need to build to get this right. Okay, so that's the pattern we need to build, and now we're working with just an A. So then let's just sort of check through a little bit and see how low we need to go with this, because we can use the lower octaves here as long as basically this bottom line here is an F. If it hits that line, sorry, it's an E rather. If it hits that line, we're no good. Even if it goes into the F just above it, we aren't going to be able to do it because that will need to be a -1 tuning. So we just scan through music a little bit. Now, as you can see, like straight away, I need to go low. So I'm going to have to play this on the higher octave of the two because we need to go in the lower one. Not the right note, is it? No. 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. Just going to copy and paste this one for ease. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, the next one then goes down to a G flat. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Oops, don't know how that one missed. Well, let's just see how that goes. Yeah, love if I can get into a lower octave here, but hopefully it plays off differently against the piano being up there anyway. Maybe use a guitar or bass instrument layered with a didgeridoo. So I've got something lined up for the didgeridoo actually. When we get later into the song, let's see if I can find out whereabouts it's here, 30. So when you hear the bass line in from about here, listening to the bass, sort of the electric bass guitar in the background there, that's what I'm planning to use the didgeridoo for. So I'll keep it at that for now, and again we'll tweak all this at the end anyway. It's your boy Nadia. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Right, so let's build that. So we've got the starting point anyway. Let's go back to where we are. So that's here. So it's the same rhythm, we just need to play some different notes. So let's clone from here for now. I need to be careful where I am actually, make sure I'm in the right place. So 15, I want to copy from 14, yeah, that's right. Right, so that's C flat. Sorry, not C flat. It's just a C. So that's 6, and then it's a D. And you can see here it doesn't follow the key on this, not from my hearing anyway. If you want to know how I tune all these, it's a lot of whistling into Audacity. Let's just use fill to get through these quicker. Equals guitar, note equals 6, replace note block, note equals 14. And then the ones with 12, I'm going to change to 8. There we go, much quicker to do it that way. I'm going to go up again. Right, yeah. I mean, it's possible that there's actually a key change here and I just haven't changed the key on the thing, and that's why I was finding things were slightly off key when I was listening to it. But it's not the end of the world. Let's see how we go. Right, so again, clone. Have I convinced anyone that they could do this themselves yet? C flat, which isn't really a thing. The .NET Form 1 program I have open is this. It's a little tool that I wrote myself. It's about 50 lines of code that I wrote myself to just quickly paste clone commands. So I've shown it a little bit. I haven't really shown the code, but the code is literally that. It's barely even 50 lines of code. And all it does is it takes each line of code, each line in here, copies it into my clipboard, and then pastes it into Minecraft for me, so I don't have to type them out. When I've got, like I say, when there's a drum beat, for example, that goes on over and over and over again, or you get a repeating part of the melody, that saves an awful lot of time. Let's just move that way. Yeah, it saves a huge amount of time in copying and pasting the same thing over and over and over again. The Google Sheet is how I build things up. No way, Sean, you could do this. Yeah, you could. You could. Just patience. Lots of patience. And if something doesn't sound right, it's probably because it's wrong. And you just need to retune it and you'll get it. Okay, so that's that bit done. Let's move on to the next one. I'll probably get to show that tool in a second, because I think this bit does repeat. So we got here G and then a G flat. Yeah, stack could work actually with using World Edit. Hadn't really considered it because I never used to use World Edit when I started doing my builds until I moved to doing the builds on my Minecraft server. The problem with the Minecraft server is it wasn't 1.13 at the time. I can't remember even why. I think 1.13 was quite new, and all of the server versions of it were really a bit bad. I hadn't quite caught up yet and figured out, because I think there was a few changes that needed to be made. So let's just go back to only 13 instead of 6. Note equals 13, replace note block, note equals 6 on that one, and then replace 8, 12. See how that all sounds. That's about right. And I think this repeats, so if it does repeat, and then it changes at that point there. So if it repeats, I can show you this tool completely now. So let's just bring it on screen. So it's these 4 that repeat. So I'm just going to copy those, paste those there, and these are just, well, you don't need to see these. This is a calculation of just using a quick VLOOKUP to find the exposition it needs to do. This clone size and clone position, these are always the same, but this used to work when I did different size builds, but pretty much all my builds nowadays are exactly the same. So these are always 7 and 5, so they just get copied straight in, and those are just used to calculate how many things here. So then you see it building up the clone command at the top and putting the whole thing together. So all I have to do every time is copy and paste all the formulas there into the next row, and it automatically calculates off the correct rows. And then paste that into the form, get Minecraft ready, hit run, and then wait, and it just pastes all of those clone commands straight in for me, so I don't have to do it. It does save a lot of time when you get really repetitive parts. I mean, I've seen some drum beats in songs that never change throughout the entire song, except maybe one clash sound or something that'll happen from time to time. And because you can't really even do that in Minecraft, you're just repeating the same drum beat all along. So I've used this tool to build sort of 50 bars of drum beats all at once. Right, but that's that bit repeated, and then we're going to move on to this, which sounds a bit different. And we're going to copy from, so it's 21, 22, that's right, 21, 20, 19. We're going to copy from 19 because it won't require much tuning from there. Okay, so now we need 10 and 12. So that's that bit. The next one, I think I'm just going to copy the same one again. That might even be the same. Oops, let's flick back. So this is, yeah, 6 and 8. So that is exactly the same as the one I've just copied. Just make sure it sounds right. Yep. Right, so there's that one. Right, I'm going to copy from 20 and just tweak that slightly. In fact, not 20, 22. See, so we need, we're already at 10 on those ones, so they're already fine, and then that's just a B, so that's 17. Probably get rid of F3 for a bit now. What's the IP for my server? It's just play.acatters.com. It's, you find all the details on the Discord anyway, but yeah, play.acatters.com. There won't be anyone on there. Probably it's been a bit empty for a little while, but we'll try and get some more people together. More people start joining the streams. Again, I might start doing some stuff in the streams, or maybe we can just have a crazy ACATers community survival server or something going on like that. And just everyone will have a bit of fun. Maybe people can join some streams and we can show off what some people have built. We've seen this one before, 13, 12. Let's have a look. That's this one. So it's 21, 13, 12. Let's just hear those, is that right? How big am I allowed to build a song? Because if I build mine the usual size, it would take up a bit of space. How do you mean? I mean, you could build a song as long as you like, but you can only hear note blocks up to a certain distance. So if you're building one under a bass in survival or something like that, you're probably not going to hear it for very far, unfortunately. But yeah, you can build it as long as you want. The redstone never ends as long as you're following it and the chunks are loaded. On the server, yeah, go nuts. Server's pretty empty, right? So, very tall wide though. Yeah, if you talk about building the server, go nuts, honestly. there's a couple of plugins there to hopefully stop any griefing and stuff from going on. So people could grief your build. We've got a claim plugin on there, but you can only claim so many blocks, and you can only claim them. You have to earn blocks by playing on the server a certain amount of time as well. I was hoping a few people would join. I don't know if anyone saw the community post that I pasted on it a while ago, but a few people turned up, and there was a good active base of typically 3 or 4 people online at any one time. So it had a good sort of small community feel to it, which is great. Where are we? Okay, so block 104. We're now moving on to number 26. I think it's the same again. Right, so now we're moving on to that. Yeah, that's the same 4 again. We're just going to completely clone. Yeah, I mean, like I say, at the minute it's a really small server because I don't think anyone's playing on it at the moment. But if we get a couple of people on it regularly, it'll be quite nice. And if people don't want to play survival and they've got other ideas for things we want to do, again, come into the Discord and let me know, because the server can be reset and we can do all sorts of things with it if we want. Right, so let's clone that bit again because that's exactly the same. And then we're going to move into number 30 now. What happened there? What are you doing up there? Had a wayward note in Muse score. Let's make sure I say the changes. So it's a little bit higher than that. It's the sort of, again, the keys sort of slightly changed again. So let's copy from, what back here, number 14. Build off of that. A B flat and an A flat. It's SMP server, yeah, at the moment. I think this is pretty close to the previous ones. Let's just take that. There's definitely been a key change here, and that's why it's gone down. I just didn't put the correct key on the previous bits, but it's not the end of the world. You can fix the key in the individual notes if you need to, and I'm not publishing this anywhere anyway, so not the music sheet, I mean, at least. There's probably quite a few mistakes in here, and I'm sure the whoever made the audio for Fall Guys theme tunes are going to be disappointed, but hey, we can put it off. So we want 12 and 14 on this one. Cool. It's pretty much the same old as before. That's number 30, clone that in, and there we go. Yeah, if you want to see some different things on the stream as well, like play some games, we could do some different things. We could play some Minecraft stuff, we could play some survival stuff, we could play some mod packs, adventure maps. We could do all sorts of things. You don't have to watch me build. Let me know. Come over to Discord as well and offer some suggestions. That'd be great. I do plan on doing some different things over on Twitch when I start moving on there. Like Fall Guys is a huge game right now. Some of you might have caught the stream that I did whilst I was a little bit drunk the other night. If you did, cool. If you didn't, don't worry about it. The VOD's still there as well, and you can see how much I sucked. That was during the beta of Fall Guys. You can see how bad I was as well during the beta. So we've got B flat and D sharp. Oops. That's what happens when you make a mistake. Or when you're not paying attention. Yeah, you can see how close it is to that one there. Just a little shift in the key. And maybe we'll go back and play everything up to this point in a minute. Maybe I could do a stream which is a note block event. Players can join a server and build something during the stream, and at the end you can just do everyone's stuff. That's a pretty cool idea, yeah. Quite like that. Yeah, perhaps I will. The problem I've had before though, even with, you know, there's what, 38,000 subscribers on the channel. Even with that subscriber account, a lot of people either don't see the community post or don't respond to it. And that means there'll be a limited number of contestants. I think if I had 100,000 subs, 250,000 subs, things might be a different story. We get a lot more participation from people. I think the only way I'm going to be able to get to that kind of thing is to do a bit more variety and do something different with the channel as well. Still like to keep note blocks in the heart of the channel, absolutely. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do it forever. Right, so I think we're on here, aren't we? So we want 15, 14. Ooh. Don't think that sounds quite right, but we're going to leave it for now. Maybe we'll fix it in a bit. Actually, no, it does sound right. Just sort of out of context because I was just playing that one bar on its own. Right, and then we've got to copy these four again. Cool. Let's play it up to this point. So we've got a little bit more of this to go, and what I'm going to probably do is clone this above, combine it with maybe combine it with bass to see how that sounds at the same time as bass notes. Maybe could work. Let's just join this up. Oh, and I know there's ways of doing this with slabs and stuff like that, but I've just kind of always been in the habit of doing it this way as well, and it allows you to put a button on the side. So let's go back and listen to the whole thing, see what we've built so far. That's where we hear the key change there, and that's where the bass drops in as well, so when we start to build that, that sounds good. Bit of didgeridoo. Right, so let's finish this bit off up to that point, and we can start to do that. A lot going on there. That one. Yeah, so things sort of change here a bit. 38. So that's here. That's the bit we're building now. Maybe we're just going to have to clone a random one for this anyway, because we don't have anything that sounds the same as that at the moment. But again, it all helps that this is all in the same rhythm. So what notes we need to actually build? So it's G flat and A flat. These 16s have got to change to a 12. I'll replace note block. I'll do. I always make this mistake. I should just do the whole thing, and then I can target the right number of blocks. Much easier. I think that was already right, actually. It's supposed to be 14. Yeah. So those are already right. And from there, and go again. 38. Only problem with the clone command is if you do make a mistake and overwrite something you've already done with it, yeah, you have a pretty hard time getting it back because there's no way to undo it. And you just have to rebuild. There's nothing you can do about it. Alright, so we've got 10 and 12. Leaned on your keyboard was reaching for a drink, Sean. I didn't see anything go in. Did you accidentally type something? Let's replace these. So we need to replace the 12s with a 10. Note block instrument equals guitar. Note equals 10. Replace note block. Note equals 12. Let's change the 12s to a 10. Then we need to change the 14s to a 12. So we're just going to edit the previous one like that. Y8 says Floppy Bobby Gaming. Hi Floppy Bobby Gaming, if you just joined the stream. I've only got about 20 minutes left actually before I'm going to call this one a day. We're probably not even got halfway through the song either. Noteblock Studio. Noteblock Studio, no. Noteblock Studio is for people that don't care about how accurate the note blocks are going to be. You definitely get the most accuracy by doing them all by hand, because I can do things that you probably couldn't do in Noteblock Studio. The biggest thing, the main thing in all of that is I can do redstone, let me just get my words out. I can do half redstone ticks by using pistons, which is something that Notebook Studio won't do. But plus, I've got so fast at doing this now, it's probably quicker for me to do it this way than to use Notebook Studio. How boring would it be to watch me just sit and use Notebook Studio for a whole stream? Even more boring, I would say, than the current stream. Right, here we are, 40, I'm just going to clone another random one from there. If we keep cloning the same one, then we only have to replace the same notes. So this is going to be 12, and that's a D, that's 12 and 19. Right, and then the next one. Seen this before. I find it. Oh, it's there. So that's 37. So that's a pretty easy one to clone. Well, hopefully that just repeats itself again as well, and then we can. More or less. So there's a little change at the end there, and then we're going to be moving on to a different part of the song. So let's get those 4 cloned in first. Use my little tool. So the change here was, it's all 16ths and there are 9 of them. So we need to put an extra one in here. Right note? Yeah, it's the right note too, which is perfect. That's it, so we just don't need those. Right, let's clone this as well and see. We'll make another layer of this on top and we'll switch that out for piano blocks because I want to see how they sounded together. We stand here and do copy. And we stand here and paste. It should put it in the right place. First time you start doing these clone commands or, or world edit stuff, it's quite scary about making mistakes. World edit not so much because you can always, as I say, you can always correct any mistakes by just doing / undo and you're fine. Whew, but yeah, you don't want to make any mistakes with the clone command. It's really annoying. So let's switch these out. So I'm just going to do fill. I'm going to just see how this sounds with piano. I'm going to combine the piano and the guitar all together. Hopefully all these chunks are loaded enough and it will let me do this whole command. We want diamond blocks and we want to replace the white wool. Not white banners, white wool. There we go, cool. So let's go back and see how that sounds then. Whereabouts are we in the song as well? There's about 100 bars, and it does start to repeat around there as well, so it's not too bad. We can do some of that stuff again with cloning. But we're at bar 45, 46, so about halfway done. Not bad for 3 hours work. Nearly 3 hours work. I quite like it. I like how the piano and the guitar sound together. So there's the didgeridoo part under this part with the key changes that I want to stick in next. But hopefully that'll possibly take us to the end of the stream. Have I ever gotten so bored that I gave up on a project? Fluffy Bobby Game and asked, have I ever got so bored? No. I've never quit a note block build, I could say. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've been doing them for a couple of years now. I'm trying to think if there was a time where I did. There might have been a song which I started and just knew that it wouldn't work out. So I canned it, but I canned it before I really got into it. So, because when I start doing these songs, I figure things out, right? I'll have a look. I'll analyse the whole song. You know, drum beat's normally not a problem. A bass line's normally a problem. But yeah, there's been a few that I've just not done, which I wanted to do, because I just didn't think Notebooks would be able to pull it off. But yeah, never out of boredom. Never stopped one out of boredom, just because I knew it couldn't be possible. Alright, so I think that sounded alright. Let's see, so okay, we've got to find that didgeridoo section now. That starts here, number 30. So 30 is, so I'm going to stick it on this line as well, because I don't think there's any chords in at the same time. I'll eat those words later when I have to separate these out, but in fact I could tell straight away. Is there any overlap on these two instruments? No, so we're okay. So I can use that one for the bass as well. Helps keep things a bit flatter. Or your laptop feels like it's just come out of the oven. Is it on your lap? Like it's supposed to be? Because, yeah. What are you doing on it? What are you doing on your laptop that it's feeling like an oven? If you're just watching my stream, is it that hot? If you're doing a bit of gaming on the side, I can understand. Right, anyway, let's find enough of the jokes. Let's find number 30. So that's X69. Am I allowed to make a nice joke? You guys can all make a nice joke and chat if you like. 69. Right, so that's here. So this is bar 13 where we need to start doing the bass. I'm just going to build this one up. It won't take long. 5. Build that. Place there with stained glass. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm so fast at this, it's purely practice. I've done these so many times now. And I know it took a large break, but mostly it came back to me pretty quick. The main difference I made since my last break was actually changed my editing software to something new, something different, just to try it out. Because my license from my previous editing software had expired, so I thought it was a good opportunity to get a trial on something else and see how it goes. And well, I had a lot of trouble with the new software because it didn't support the video formats in the same way. The audio kept coming out really tinny. It was just very annoying. Eventually managed to find some settings that worked and didn't break everything. But yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about sticking with the software, but the license for the other software is pretty expensive, so we'll see. Do I have any tips for making note block songs? Patience, definitely number one tip. If you haven't got any patience to finish a song, I wouldn't get started. If you can dig deep and find the patience to stick with a song, then definitely do it. The next big thing, so these are personal traits that you're going to need. Don't give up. If you find something that's not quite working, just don't give up. You'll probably be able to figure out how to make it work, and it'll probably be okay in the end. Let's just see. Sorry, let me just break that trail of thought for a second while I figure out what this bottom note is. Is that how low it goes? So that's a G, F, E. So right, so that's going to have to be on the middle of the octaves. The third tip is study some sheet music. If you're going to do a song as well, don't go figuring out all the music by yourself the first couple of times, because that's just a headache in its own right. Go and find some sheet music and use that as a base. Learning to read sheet music isn't too hard. You can find some easy tutorials online to figure that stuff out. I don't have any background in music other than primary school education, really. So that's about it. But yeah, you can definitely figure all this stuff out. Right, so I want that. Another one here. Hopefully this works. Might combine this with bass blocks at the same time. We'll see. How do you find how to make the beat? You mean the drum beat? Well, just by listening, really. I use Audacity. So this is the way I set up a song. So this is a bit I've done off camera, so I could do as much. You can't really read sheet music. Hang on, let me go back. Let me just finish actually talking about the beat. So listening to the beat, use Audacity. Figure out the tempo of the song. It's not hard. There's just Google for tempo tapper or something like that, and you'll find a website where you can just tap on your keyboard in rhythm to the song. Do that for a while. Don't do it too quickly because you'll probably get the wrong tempo, but do that over a long period of time, like 30 seconds, 60 seconds of a whole song, and you'll figure out a lot of it. You'll figure out the tempo. Once you know the tempo, you can add what's called a rhythm track on top. So this is the song I've just recorded. If I unmute the rhythm track, you can hear also like a metronome in the background that's playing in rhythm with the song. So that's playing on every quarter note. Most songs are in the standard like 4/4 time signature as well. You might find some songs out there that are in a different time signature, which makes things a bit different, but for now I'm just going to assume that mostly any song you're going to encounter is going to be a 4/4 time signature. That's what you want to do. So as I say, I record it into Audacity, and what you do is you highlight the whole track and then you click off, and what that does is it sets this start and length of selection timer down there, which you need in a second. You click generate rhythm track, you set your tempo here of the song that you've just found using your tempo tapper. You type the duration of your song here, 3:32:177, and hit OK, and it creates that rhythm track for you then. And don't need to create another one, it's not going to do that. And then this other one is just tracks add label track. And what you can do on a label track is just highlight a piece and then type. And I'm doing that so that I can remember, I can see. I only do it every 8 bars, otherwise it'd just be bonkers trying to write them all in. But this, that's just a bad example because that isn't actually one. But if I want to find bar 9, it starts here, and then 10, 11, 12, and so on. So it just helps me dive into a certain point in the track whenever I need to, so I can carry on. But yeah, getting the beat, as you ask, is just a case of literally, so now I know one of my bars, I can just go into here and listen to it. And this is, you can also see the wavelength here, the waveform showing off different parts, so you can figure things out. So I know that, that's 4 quarters of a bar, but this note plays actually in between 2 of the bars because it starts here right in the middle of one. So you can use this to figure out your beat as well, or just lots of listening. And if you're really stuck, another Audacity feature is just slow things down. Play the Inception soundtrack instead. But yeah, it depends on the song. Sometimes slowing it down too much just makes it so distorted that you can't really figure anything out. Anyway, let's go back and figure this didgeridoo bit out. We've got about 7 minutes before I need to wrap up the stream. So here we go. So this is a G flat. And then we've got A, C, and then another G. Oh. Okay, so things are tuned pretty high here. I hope I don't have to go any higher than that, because I do need to go lower than that middle octave as well. Just checking through the song. It doesn't look like I do need to go any higher than that, so hopefully it stays. If it goes above that note there, then we won't be able to put it off with just this. Japanese note block YouTubers, I haven't seen any of their stuff, I'm not going to lie. Perhaps I'll check it out. So we've got B flats, that's 16. No, what am I talking about? We are on bass clef. That's an E flat. So that's, losing my mind here. It's not an E flat, it's a D. Which is a C sharp. And then we've got a B flat, which is an A sharp. And then finally back. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to sound. Like I said before, the higher note didgeridoo sounds. Yeah, the higher note didgeridoo sounds can be a bit, quacky, but we're going to stick with it. It might gel well with the rest of the song when it all comes together. Right, let's get through some questions before I have to wrap up the stream. You should try them out because they're amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look and see what they're capable of. See what kind of stuff they're doing as well, because it might give me some inspiration to try some new things. Thanks for the suggestion. They spend months on their projects. What? Yeah, I don't know if I can. Well, I'll check it out, like I say, and see what happens. Flubby Bubby Gaming, last question. In the description it says subscribe for weekly updates. Does that mean you're back to YouTube? Does it say weekly updates? Okay, I probably need to change that. So yes, I am back to YouTube. No, they're not going to be weekly. What I'm trying to do is at least a weekly stream. If I can do a weekly stream at least, then there's always going to be some content for people to watch. I might not do note block builds in every stream because I think these can drag on for quite a while, and I don't know how much entertaining gameplay there is in the background either, whilst I'm flicking around on different screens. So, but yeah, Ali Quintana says hi. Thanks for coming by. Unfortunately, we're actually about to wrap up the stream in a couple of minutes, but if you've got any questions you want to ask, get them in now. Right. Let's figure out the next one. That is pretty much a clone of the first one, just ever so slightly different. I think it's just missing the last note. From there. This is why I've got to be careful, because if I'm on the wrong tab, I'll overwrite the wrong piece, and that's happened before, definitely, and that will cause headaches. But yeah, no, I am back. Just not going to be. I'm still not able to get, I think, a video out every week. I think sometimes if I'm doing a song just for the sake of doing a song as well, it's not going to be a hugely popular song, and it might not, come off that well. So I definitely want to make sure I'm doing something that's relevant as much as possible to have the biggest chance of doing well on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't really reward. My videos tend to get 2,000-3,000 views, no problem, but you don't get a lot of money for that, especially not when you've got a revenue share to contend with as well, because half of your revenue, I think it's probably at least half of the revenue goes to whoever wrote the song. So let's just double check that. Yeah, so that's just exactly the same with the last note missing, so that's really easy. And we've got the same again, but the last note's a bit lower. Get a bit of this in. Whoops, where are we? Okay, let's see. So that's an A, G, F, E. That's a D sharp. Yeah, I think that's right. And then the whole mixed up a little bit here. All my videos get claimed, yes. Unless it's like a game song, like the Mario theme, for example, or PewDiePie's didn't get claimed. His congratulations cover that I did and Bitch Lasagna, those don't get claimed. Because generally YouTubers and that are a bit more relaxed and don't really care. If you're doing something cool with their music, if you're just copying their music or reposting their video, then no good. But yeah, most of my videos get claimed for revenue share. I mean, the ad revenue people will moan about enough. That's why I need to bring some new content to the channel, because it's, as well as it was doing, I'm only really making $20-$30 a month in revenue, and that's obviously I have a full-time job anyway, but it's not going to be sustainable, and it's an awful lot of effort for me to do every week. So that's why I'm really hoping I get a bit of a following on Twitch, and we could start to do some streaming over there. Maybe do some more fun things as well. I do like to play other things than do this kind of stuff as well, and hopefully we can get a couple of people together and we'll have a bit of a laugh. Let's just build this last bit, and I think then I'm going to have to wrap it up, I'm afraid. We'll copy this last one here, just so I've got to a good point. Let's squeeze in there. Right, so it's not that note, it's that one. That's 9. That's another 9, and then we've got G sharp. 12. background team. Let's just see how that sounds, and then I'll connect it with the rest of the song, and we can just hear that as it slots in. That's not quite right. I missed something out there. Yeah, so that note here was supposed to have been there. Let's play that one more time. Right, and then we'll connect all of this together. See how it comes. I've got a very clicky mouse. I did invest in a keyboard that wasn't so clicky, but when I type in heavily on it, it's pretty bad. When I'm just playing games, I'm hoping you probably can't hit it too much. That's as far as obviously we got with that bit. Cool, I think that's going off really well. Let's just see if there's any last questions around. You usually do covers of Japanese songs because they're very popular actually. And when you upload them, you get claimed, but you don't really care because you're not monetized yet. Yeah, I mean, even if they do get claimed, hopefully they're still, they're not strikes, and hopefully they're just normal claims, which will offer you a rev share. So if you do get monetized and your channel does get big enough, you can share a portion of the revenue from those songs, so it'll look good. Twitch will be fun. How do you make Twitch pop off? Share it as wide as you can, and yeah, let your friends know as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream as well, because then you'll be more inclined to let your friends know. So yeah, twitch.tv/acatters is where it is. There should be a link in the description of this video. There's links all over my channel. You can go to my YouTube profile, and I've got links there to Discord, to Twitch, to Twitter. Follow me on Twitter as well, because I do lots of updates there every day, as well as just some weird crap about Fall Guys and victories and other stuff in the Minecraft community. There's always something going on out there as well on Twitter. And also in my profile on YouTube, you can find links to iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, where I do have about 20 of my songs uploaded to there. It's hard to get them published on those because I have to go through another company that can sometimes be really funny about the copyright on my videos, even though it's clearly a cover song. And I've even got a written letter from the Harry Fox agency who give all the cover licenses out to this company that says that my songs are eligible as well. But even then, I still have trouble trying to get them published. It's a real pain. But yeah, 50th member of my Discord. You found the wrong Discord. Maybe you're the 50th member online. There's 250, 260 members on Discord at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much for coming along and watching. It's been a blast, and I've enjoyed sort of showing what I can do on stream as well at the same time. I know it's probably been a bit slower than normal. But yeah, thank you very much. If you do want to find other ways to support the channel as well, look in the description. I've started off a quick subscription membership as well. You can pay just the price of a cheeseburger per month and just help support the channel. It'll go a long way. What I'm going to do is all of the people that do become members, I'm going to put their names on the end of the videos and find ways that I can shout them out and, you know, really appreciate what they do for the channel as well. But yeah, as I say, thank you very much for coming along. We're going to have to leave it there. Take care.